Aloha, folks. Welcome to Part 6 of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. We are not taking on an evil X. We are actually taking on Scott Pilgrim's darker self, his darker evil twin, the anti-Scott. He is Nega Scott. Nega Scott always seems to come in the novels when Scott is in some kind of distress, or he has some kind of anger problem happening, or he's just under a lot of pressure and things are just not going well for our main hero. Every time things are not going well for our main hero, Nega Scott shows up to rub it into his face and just to cause mayhem and chaos and all that junk. Not that he actually plays an active role in the plot, per se, but Nega Scott is this darker side of Scott that always pops out every now and then. It all culminates in the end of Volume 6 when, near the end of the book, Scott seems to have lost Ramona. There's one evil X left, Gideon. He seems to have won. And things just aren't going right for Scott. He lost Ramona. All of his friends seem to be ditching him. Everything's changing. And things are just not working out for him. Not to spoil the books, but and it is when the extreme pressure of his backup plan fails that Nega Scott appears to attack him. And Scott learns a life lesson during this battle that encourages him to move on and defeat Gideon Graves and change the whole tone of the book, you know. And it's fantastic. I like the whole moral dilemma, the whole morality, niceness, evil thing, a-majigger, yeah. And this level has my favorite theme in the game. I love this song. This song I could listen to for hours and hours and hours. There's a hidden shop in this level where those trees are, the trees with the mushrooms sticking out, next to Wallace Wells. Head up there, and you will find a hidden shop. This hidden shop has something you definitely want to buy. So at Mobile Secret House, go down to the very bottom and buy Special Training. Warning, it is a whopping $57.50, but you will learn an extra special technique when you buy it. Yes, you actually buy a new move for your character to use. And depending on which character you're playing, it's different. So it's not like every character gets the same ability. Scott Pilgrim's going to get something by buying this, but Kim and all them, they're going to get something different. So I got a new move by using the Special Training. I got down and Y, and by pushing down and Y, Scott does that big forward thrust punch. And all is well in the world. I got a new move, and now you know. But guys, you know, in this last level where we're beating up owls and wolverines, I'm not really happy now, you know. I gotta take on Nega Scott. I don't think I can beat him. No one can beat him. He's just too powerful, and, you know, this game is not perfect. I know I have to dwell on the negative, but we are at Nega Scott, and I have to dwell on the negative right now because this game is not perfect, you know. I called it the second best game of the year of 2010, if you saw my vlog review of the best games of 2010, or not the best games, but... And, you know, it is very awesome. I love it. I loved it to death, but it does have its problems, and I wouldn't be doing this LP a fair service if I didn't mention them. For one, Scott Pilgrim crashes quite a bit. There has been many a time I was playing Scott Pilgrim and the game would literally freeze, and I would have to restart my Xbox. It's happened many times, and I'm not going to lie to you, my viewers. It happens again and again and again. And it'll probably happen again next time I play it. There's no online co-op. You can play 4 players at home with 4 controllers. But if you're expecting to play with other people online, no such thing. This game is harkening back to the good old days of gaming when online play didn't exist. However, if you have, you know, a friend who's living down in some city that you're not in, and you want to play Scott Pilgrim with him, you can't do it. Cannot do it. There's no online co-op. Everyone hates that about Scott Pilgrim. Personally, I don't care for the River City Ransom parts, you know. I don't like the whole stat building thing. I wish it was just a straight up beat 'em up like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 or something. Because when you go back to previous levels, or if you upgrade your characters way too much, the game just becomes too easy, I find. And all the fun is lost. Sure, you can play the game again and not increase your stats and try to go for a challenge run, but, you know. I don't know. I think the game could be harder. Yeah, we're fighting zombies. What up? It doesn't matter. This LP is not the greatest anyway. I'm not doing a good job. Nothing is going right lately, you know? Nega Scott, I can't beat him. It's impossible. I mean, I've never been able to beat that guy. But you know, I am feeling better about myself lately. I don't know what it is. It's just these zombies, I'm plowing through them, no problem. These guys with the skull masks, who I guess left the Halloween party, they're nothing I can't handle either. Actually, you know what? I'm starting to feel confident in my abilities. I only have one Evil X left to go, folks. I only have to take on Gideon motherfucking Graves, and then I can win Ramona's heart once and for all. Well, Scott Pilgrim will. But, you know, I gotta make sure this game goes successfully. I gotta finish this game. I gotta show everyone the ending and make sure that this LP is completed, no matter how down in the dumps I can be sometimes. Nega Scott, he's a negative son of a bitch, but I have to overcome this negativity. I have to get over Nega Scott. I have to prevail. I have to succeed. And if it means beating up a couple zombies, I can do that. Because I gotta win the girl. I gotta win Ramona Flower's heart. I gotta defeat Gideon Graves, the leader of this League of Evil X's. I can't be down in the dumps. It all ends, folks. Next video, I'm going to be taking on the final boss, and I'm going to show him and everyone what I'm capable of. And then, maybe one day, I will no longer have 11,000 subscribers, although that is a very high number. Maybe one day, I'll be in the millions. It's all possible if you believe in your dreams, folks. But now, it's time to face our fears. It's time to face Nega Scott. The guy loves to interrupt your combos all the time. You try punching him a few times, and he always gets a shot in and knees you in the face, and it deals out so much damage. I hate Nega Scott. He killed me! No! But I can't stop. I gotta win. I got to get through! He also has one other move that he doesn't pull off that much, but he shoots fireballs at you. And that fireball, you cannot block it. If you see that fireball, jump over it immediately as soon as you see it. Right there! Booyah! Other than that, Nega Scott is kinda like you. Only evil. And dead! By the way, I had a lucky run there. I got critical hits like crazy. 200, 100, and then I dealt the finishing blow. I murdered Nega Scott. Yes! Whew! We're heading on to the final level, folks. We did it. We did it. And now for the 6th playable character, because so many people have mentioned him already in the first video that I had to delete the comments. Yes, when you beat the game with Scott, and then Kim, and then Ramona, and then Stills, not necessarily in that order, you get to play as Nega Scott. He has all the same abilities he had when you fought him in the boss fight, and then some. Here's a fully leveled Nega Scott taking on Matthew Patel. So yeah, Nega Scott's pretty much the same thing as regular Scott, except, you know, the fireballs are fucking badass. I mean, there's nothing better than going through a crowd of goons and shooting fireballs at them. I don't show it off that much here, but yeah. Jesus, I murdered Patel! Nega Scott also has my favorite victory pose of all the guys. Watch this. Hells yeah. Well, folks, that's the 6th playable character. Now you know it's Nega Scott. Now you can unspoiler the comments, because now you know. But, folks, we will continue to the final video, the final single-player video, of Scott Pilgrim. We're going to take on the final Evil X of the game, Gideon Graves. Tune in for Part 7 for the finale.